Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stacey Storino. Normally, I'm from Joe's Dairy Bar and Grill, but today I am here on my own channel, and I really ought to learn to put my lip gloss on or my lip balm on before I go live. My bad. But I wanted to make sure I was on time, so it's 8:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's when I tend to go live for sure on my YouTube channel. I'm here to help anybody who, especially if you're an entrepreneur mom or an entrepreneur parent. I use the title entrepreneur mom just because it's easier for me to rank, but you could be an entrepreneur parent, or you could simply be an entrepreneur who doesn't mind if occasionally we talk about parenting, tip, tricks, and techniques, and how that shows up in the world of being an entrepreneur. Because when you're, let's say, an entrepreneur mom, you have to balance the two hardest jobs in the world, being a mother or a parent, and then being an entrepreneur. Those things are hard enough on their own, and then you're doing both together. Whew, that is hard to do. So I can discuss tips, tricks, techniques, or answer questions about how to blend family and business better, but I'm also talking about today's short form content. That's kind of the little gist that I would like to give. And then I can go on to other topics and other Q&As because I'm here to help you guys. I might from time to time also go live at different times, just like kind of as a jackpot or unannounced live. You never know. So if you're new to me, make sure that you subscribe, click the bell notification, and select all. So this way you're more likely than not going to get the pings or announcements or notifications that I'm live. So if you're like, oh, she's doing like a jackpot live, I can dive in. At least you'd have the opportunity to be able to dive in. All right. Let me know. First of all, let me know that the sound is good. I just reset my mic, so hopefully that's good. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Hashtag live, hashtag replay. That's always a great big help. Transformational Healing by Donna. Hey, what's up, Donna? How you doing? Good morning. How are you? Do you have like a sales promotion or something like that going on this weekend? Let us know. Sounds good. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm sure more people are going to come as everything pings out. Guys, do me a favor. Could you give me a thumbs up? That really, really helps me out. It gives the YouTube algorithm another data point to surface so that it can continue to ping people who are at least subscribed to me, so more of them get to, see what's going on too. Music Chick Art, hashtag live, hashtag replay. Thank you very much. Daniela Waterhark, how you doing? Hashtag live, good morning, and the sound is perfect. Cool. Because when you reset things, you're not going to know until there's someone on the other side of the equation to tell you, yeah, the sound isn't bad. All right, Transformational Healing by Donna. 3 days of rotating sales. Good girl. Just started at 8 a.m. First sale in already. And that's how I like it. Donna is one of my students. And you can put the name of your Etsy shop down below, Donna. Music Chick Art, are you running any sort of promotion or sale this weekend? If so, let me know down below. And it probably will not let folks do links. Only I can drop links because it's my live. YouTube changed that. You used to be able to drop links years ago. And then I might have been able to pre-approve it, but not now. So at least put down the names of your Etsy shops or the names of your business so people can go and take a look at you. Why not? We're a community. We're out to support one another. And again, I'd let you drop a link, but YouTube won't for some crazy reason. But anyway, okay. So, if you have any questions about entrepreneurship, entrepreneur parenthood, or short form content creation, those are the 3 balls I'm going to try and juggle today. You can put your questions down below and I will be sure to answer them. Etsy shop name is Dee's Transform Healing. There you go. So that's cool. Yeah, Transformational Healing by Donna. Donna is an experienced student, so I'm really proud of her. She's an experienced student of mine, and she's doing really, really well, and I'm very proud of her. So cool. All right, so short form content. When I'm talking about short form content, and again, you guys are welcome to drop your questions down below. Short form content is really what you're able to create on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and yes, YouTube Shorts is now starting to debut over in India. There's a huge vacuum that's open that right now only Instagram Reels is filling, because for most of India at this point, they still do have the ban down against TikTok, but not just TikTok. They put down a ban against TikTok and 58 other apps that they had security questions or issues with. I haven't seen the news burn up about like hand in the cookie jar, really, really bad things with TikTok. But I guess there's enough out there for folks who know how to peer behind the scenes that they're concerned and they're like, at least for now, we're going to put down this ban. A ban doesn't have to be permanent. It can be lifted, in the event that like TikTok shows, say the country of India and the powers that be that, we're not a concern and here's why. I'm sure then India would lift the ban. Pre-ban, India was the #1 user of TikTok, and then the United States was the second user. There's still a potential for a ban. President Trump and crew have to be happy with what's going on. I understand there was a purchase of TikTok. I don't want to get into that too much. The stream isn't just about TikTok, but if you have any TikTok-oriented questions that I can answer, you're free to put that down as well. Let's see, music, chick art really quick. So sales, I'm finishing everything I can since I have broken bones. Oh girl, I'm sorry. And couldn't do much the past 2 months in full gear to finish everything. That's awesome. I'm proud of you. I tore my right medial meniscus in my right knee. Now I'm going back over a month ago. So it's been a long, slow slog for me and I didn't even break anything. So, girl, I am feeling you literally and figuratively. Good going. L's elations. Good morning, L. #live. I appreciate that. L, do you have any questions for me? I'm happy to answer them. Daniela Waterhawk. Sorry. I created my first Facebook flyer last night for an email list. Good going. Daniela says, we'd be at the Maryland, I'm going to guess MD, Maryland Renaissance Fair this weekend. Took me 7 years to get into that show. It was canceled. So now I'm running a sale for the Maryland Renaissance Fair Facebook page. And I think that that's great. And I'm glad that they're allowing you guys to do that. That's like a smart thing to do because we don't know how long things will be canceled for. We also don't know, like even once things like reopen across the board or kind of try to go back to normal, it may have a bit of a damp reception the first year out. So this time next year, hopefully a lot of the world has vaccines, are deploying vaccines. The vaccines are safe. But you still might find that people are kind of tamping down. One thing I want to say really quick is that Google / Google Ads did a poll, and 74% of all people polled indicated that they're going to do all or most of their shopping online at least through the end of the year. Not just holiday shopping, but just shopping in general, including holiday shopping. So that's got to tell you that even if where you and or a lot of your audience is in the world, even if it's not locked down anymore, even if it's pretty open, people are still like, for whatever the reason, maybe they're timid, maybe they're waiting for vaccines. Maybe it's just, you know what, they've been doing all or most of their purchasing online for at least a month, 2 months, 3 months, and now it's just habit. So it could be a fusion blend of some or all of those things. How it benefits the vast majority of people who are my students and or watch me on YouTube is that, most of you don't have a brick and mortar location. At most of you probably went out like Daniela Waterhawk said. I don't know why I have such a hard time saying Waterhawk. I shouldn't. I'm sorry, Daniela. I appreciate it. And I apologize. But I think a lot of people were like, I used to go and do shows. I used to go and do public events. I used to do Renaissance fairs. I used to travel like the tour circuit. I used to do public speaking. I have some students, some are product-based, some are not. And so some people were like, I used to go out and speak. I used to go out and do tours. And now I can't do those things. What can I do? And it's really, you got to show up online more. You have to have the ability to sell from online. You have to have the ability to capture leads with an email list online, because 75% or more of your sales from month to month really do tend, statistically speaking, to come from your pre-existing email list. So if you've been doing business without an email list, God bless you, and that's great. But if you've been trying to do business and you don't do much, if any, business from month to month, it's because you're not creating a community online, because you have to go where the attention goes, and that's this or a device. They're not watching TV. They're not streaming as much as they are online through social media, especially, and on YouTube. So if you're not going where the attention is at least a lot or a lot more than it used to be, it's going to be very much harder for people to get brand awareness. It's going to be a lot harder for you to be able to capture leads, because that's really where people are amenable to learn about brands, especially Instagram. They love to go on Instagram, and they love consuming brand content even more than personal content. And they don't mind getting on email lists and or being sold to on that platform. They don't mind on Facebook either, but they really like it on Instagram a bit more, from what I've seen and studies that I've shown. So if you're not really on Instagram, or you're just kind of putting a toe in the water on Instagram, and you're like, is it too late? Is Instagram too big and too mature and nobody's going to see me? No, the answer is no. It's still anybody's game. But, the best time to start would have been 10 years ago. The next best time to start really marketing and selling, on Instagram especially, is now. I do students of mine, product space, a lot of them who do get sales on TikTok as well. So we're going to circle back to short form content in just a second. I want to be able to see that I caught everybody here. So I'm glad that you started an email list, Daniela. That's a smart way to go, because whether you can go to Renaissance fairs or not for the rest of this year, and even all or most of next year, if you have an email list, you can still email them at least once a week just to keep the trail warm. You don't email any list of any size, at least regularly once a week. The trail goes cold. And so when you send out that rare email that you weren't trying to be too pushy, especially if you're female and you're concerned about that. So you don't want to be too pushy. And so you send out an email way less than once a week. And then you get unsubscribed and you're like, oh, it's because it was too pushy. I'll send emails even less. I'm even more timid and afraid. Guess what? That's the wrong move to make, because you actually let the trail go cold, and it's hard to have a relationship personally, professionally, romantically, anything, where you have little to no communications going on. That's not really healthy. So this is actually a quick reminder. Here's the link that I can do. $37 sale ends today for Funnel Fairy Godmother Messenger. We're going to get back into short form content marketing and YouTube Shorts, which is dropped already in India, and it's going to continue to drop in other countries too. They definitely wanted it deployed in full by the end of the year. So, September's way more than halfway over. We're going to be in December before you know it. So I'm not surprised that they're dropping it in India first. I'll get back to why I think that's the case in a minute. So the $37 sale ends today for Funnel Fairy Godmother Messenger email marketing and selling course. It goes to $97 after this. And here's the link if you want to go and check out what that course is about. But in short, it's all about teaching you email marketing, how to get 75% or more of your sales from your email list routinely, how to train those people up and pre-frame them so that they actually expect to be sold. And I will share with you one statistic. 60% of all people who do get onto email lists, especially of businesses, they expect to be sold to and they want to be sold to. If you're not offering them value in terms of information that can educate them, entertain them, inspire them, or a fusion blend of some or all of those things, then they're not going to like you and they're going to leave. And or if you don't give them at least 2 opportunities or more to buy from you, they get bored and then they leave. So again, a lot of my students are 40s into their 70s. They're mostly female, but not all of them. And, we've been socialized not to be too pushy or too much or too aggressive and things like that. And while there's definitely a difference between being aggressive and assertive, most of you would never go into aggressiveness, but you're so concerned with not being pushy, with not being too much of a sleazy salesperson, that you're not sending any or many emails, and then you don't get many or any sales. And then when you do infrequently send emails, people are like, who are you now again? And I'm not interested anymore. Someone else is selling to me the same or similar thing and doing a better job, and I'm more into them and they're serving up more value. So now I don't care. So the message course is going to walk you through not only the mindset that you need to have in order to market and sell, so that again, you meet the average entrepreneurial statistic of getting 75% or more of your sales from your email list from month to month. To get it on social media and not capture leads at all, or maybe transactionally after the sale, you're actually doing your business backwards, if you will. So that course is going to show you how to do it tastefully, how much is too much, what to do for subject lines, preview text, body copy, how to avoid the spam filter, and all those things. For $37, it's a deal all day long. Plus, there are weekly coachings that you can unlock and get access to live and replays. So for $37, you may as well take a look at that link. Marquina, I still owe you the 10 best books that I would recommend. I did not forget you. I'm going to put that in the student groups later. So let's see. Marquina says, good morning, Stacey. It's good to see you. It's good to see you too. Hope you're doing well. Yep. I just happened to see the notification for this live. I'm getting the kids ready for distance online school. I'll listen. And that's so many people. And that also doubles down into what I said before, Marquina, just in case you didn't hear it, this is important. 74% of all people polled by Google said that they're doing all or most of their shopping online, not just holiday shopping, but all of their shopping through the end of the year online. They don't plan on going out to brick and mortar. So, now's a great time to be alive if you're an entrepreneur who does all or most of your business online. But how you're going to capture the sales isn't just by sitting in a vacuum. It's definitely by doing content marketing. So short form content marketing, which is really one of the gists of today's live, is something that I want you all to understand. Like, you miss out on this golden window of opportunity to use short form content marketing while it's still in its infancy, while you're going to get unfair algorithmic advantages. Like, you're going to cry 6 months to a year later, because this is how people blow up out of nowhere. And this is how you can also, especially if you take message, you'll understand after you've captured the leads what to do with them to really increase your sales over time. Now, if you guys do me a favor before I go any further, make sure you hit that like button. I see 3 likes. I know there's more people on here. Like, please. And hashtag live and hashtag replay, because then YouTube will push out more notifications, at least to the people who subscribe to me. So let's see. Daniela is good and no worries. You got it, Daniela. Yesterday, I went through all of our credit card sales for 2020 and 2019 and collected emails from people that put it on their sales receipt. Hours of work, but now I have leads to invite them. Yes, invite them. This is, you don't want to be violative of the CAN-SPAM Act from the United States FCC or federal, the FCC. I'm sorry, I'm blanking out on that acronym. But transactional emails versus people who opt into your email list are actually 2 different things. So say you sell on Etsy or through your own website or whatever. It doesn't matter what you're selling or who you're selling to, products, services, whatever. If they happen to parachute in out of nowhere because they found you through search on Google, or they found you on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they decide to buy from you, that's a transactional email. If they didn't specifically opt into your email list, just because they did a transactional email from you, and Daniela, you may know this, but I'm just saying, just to cover everybody else who sees this live and on the replay, just because somebody buys from you, that's a transactional email under the eyes of the law. You have to also get them to take the extra affirmative step of opting into your email list so that they hear from you long after the transaction is over. So if you get a transactional email, but they don't opt into your email list, it's okay that you email them about that transaction all you like, to make sure that they got the product. Let's just say it's a product. Make sure that they got the product. Make sure that they're using the product, making sure that they like the product, and even following up with them to see if they need a refill on that product. Say you sell a consumable good. It's consumable because it's edible. It's consumable because it's makeup or skincare. It's consumable because it's something they'll burn down like incense or a candle. It's consumable because maybe, I won't show the product manufacturer, but it's essential oil or something like that. Fine. You can do transactional emails with them. You can also send a transactional email in order to get a review from them about that product and that transaction. All of that's fine. Buried in those transactional emails, I would do it like once. I really would. I would ask them to also click on a link in that email so that they can join your email list proper so that they can continue to hear from you long after the transaction is over. But they can also get, like, let's say, a coupon good for 20% off their next purchase from you. So that's like the difference. It's parallel lines of emails, but they don't intersect unless the person chooses to have them intersect. You can do transactional emails, but you can't sell new stuff to them via the transactional emails. You should invite them once. I would think twice is the most I would do, but like once. I would definitely invite anyone that you have a transactional email for to get onto your email list. Now, if you went to a Renaissance fair or like a public event because you're a speaker, I do have some authors and bloggers and speakers who are students of mine, let alone you go to a Renaissance fair and you sell products or anything like that. You go to like craft fairs and things like that. And you collect emails from people who want to be on your email list, well, then that's fine. You can definitely automatically load that onto your non-transactional email, like your main email list. That's fine. And I would definitely do that to the extent that maybe people are old school and they really weren't doing email marketing so much. And now you're like, well, I've collected all these leads. Well, that's fine. If they wanted you to put them on an email list, no duh, you can do that. From now on, though, you really need to go where the attention's going to be for at least the next year to 2 years. And if Google's telling you that its surveys and polls show that 74% of everybody is going to be doing all or most of their shopping, not just holiday, but all their shopping online at least through the end of the year, you need to go where the attention is. You need to go where social media is. And even if you're older, and many of my students are, and you're like, I don't even use social media socially so much, that's fine. But your niche might. If I had $1 for everybody who said that at least in part millennial mother factored into who they're selling to, or like a younger or young at heart Gen Xer, those people are on social media a lot. They're on Facebook at least up to about 53 minutes a day, every single day. They are on Instagram for the same amount of time separately. So it's a separate 53 minutes. And now TikTok is saying that they're on TikTok 53 minutes a day. Not just Gen Z or the digital natives, not just Gen Y or millennials, but also baby boomers and Gen X in increasing numbers are coming onto all the platforms. And I do think that like COVID/lockdown, a lot of people sheltering in place because they were told to, or they just thought it was the wise thing to do. They spent a lot of times with kids and grandkids and devices and bored. And so now Pandora's box has been open even for the baby boomers. So no matter who you're selling to, you really need to have more of a presence online. Now, I want to read some more comments, and then I'm going to circle back to why short form content marketing, even if you're in your 70s, and I have quite a few students who are, and some of them are following what I'm saying already, and they're loving it, because today we're concluding a week-long Reels challenge in my Socialgram shortcut course, and I guess I'll put that here too, just in case you want to see what it's about, Socialgram shortcut, but that's not like on sale, but the message course is. But you can see like both if you're like new to me and you're like, what are either of those things? Message you can get, it'll just be $97 after today. It's $37 through the end of today. 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when the tech cuts everything off, and it will be $97. But let me go through the comments here, make sure I recognize everybody. So Transformational Healing by Donna says, that spam filter, must review those words. My bounce rate is still under 1%. That's good, but up my last 2 videos. Soft bounces post giveaway. Ooh. Julie Denbo. What's going on, Julie? You may as well put down the name of your Etsy shop and or website down there. You can't put down links because only I can do that. YouTube doesn't like it when someone other than the creator does it, but I'll invite you to put down the name of your shop so people can go take a look at you too. Daniela says, most people do not leave an email, but I figured they put their email down at the sale and they didn't mind receiving an email from me. That's where you could get in trouble. So yeah, no, you have to give them an invitation when it's transactional in nature only. If they didn't sign up either at a show manually on like a sign-in list, or they didn't go in to an email list through an email opt-in form that's also GDPR compliant. So G as in George, D as in David, P as in Peter, R as in Richard. Like, go look up GDPR compliance and Google it, or use the, search engine of your choice, of course, and you will see what that is. And so that dictates what has to be in your email opt-in form in terms of language. The long and the short of it is that when people are opting into your email opt-in form, that they're told they're not just going to get, like, say, a coupon or a free downloadable or whatever it is you're going to do as like an ethical email opt-in bribe, but they also see, like, and it can be like small print, but it has to, of course, be legible. But it has to be like you're opting into this email list, and you also agree that it's okay from time to time that I send you emails about sales or about promotions or about giveaways and stuff like that. Well, I think that 9 out of 10 people wouldn't care that you would do that if you didn't have that language. GDPR compliance has been a requirement for the last 2 years. The FCC has had the Can Spam Act out for way longer than that. So those are like the two main laws, or, like, compliance-based issues you need to worry about. And then otherwise, don't lie or do anything unethical in your emails, and then you're fine. But, once you capture those leads, you can sell to them all day long. You can email them as much or as little as you like, and it's fine. And it doesn't always have to be sales-based. And I'm telling you, it shouldn't. You should do relationship marketing with email marketing just the same as you would do relationship marketing with social media content versus not just sales content. If you're, let's say, a product-based creator, and your feed on Facebook or Instagram or both is nothing but a parade of products and a tsunami of sale-based information, and that's all you're really doing, or the lion's share of what you're doing, you might be getting sales. I'm not saying you can't. But if you're not getting any or many, and you're like, why is this mic on? Why am I posting all this great content? I guess people think I suck, my content sucks, my products suck. It's really not that. It's just that you're not creating enough of an emotional connection between your brand and yourself and your viewing audience on, say, Facebook or Instagram or wherever. And they're just like, okay, nice. And they just keep going on. You have to really give them a reason, not just to slow their scroll to see pictures of your beautiful products. Or for my services-based people, depictions, sorry, Mom, I'll talk to you later. Depictions of, she knows I'm live at 8, but she's got a call every Friday. She doesn't have Alzheimer's. There's no excuse. She knows. So sorry about the interruption. But I'm sorry. You can't, even for my services-based people, you can have content that depicts or shows, like, the benefits of your service, or you delivering your service to someone, like, say, you're a massage therapist or whatever. You can have things like that too. When people go to, like, a business-based, a social media account, they expect to see product or service, pictures, depictions, related content. And they do expect to see sales or things that will drive you to an email list. That comes part and parcel with who you are and what you do. But you have to be able to also create content, short form or not. And I promise we're getting into short form content in a minute. But you have to be able to give them something to have, like, a heart-centered connection with you, especially if they're millennial or Gen Z. You don't do that, or you don't do that enough, they're ice cold to you. They might find you organically in search, or someone might share your content and they'll go nice. And then they'll go look at your profile, your account, your feed, and they'll be like, okay, nice. But unless the spirit moves them to shop then and there, they're not going to be connected enough to you, your brand, and your brand experience to really care to go back to you. So there has to be, like, what's in it for them. And it's not just the pretty products, and it's not just the sales and the savings. It's like, what are you doing to serve them and people like them? How do you acknowledge the intersecting interests that brought them there? What problem do they want to solve? And then, gee, there's your products or services. What need do they have or desire that they have that they want to have fulfilled? And oh yeah, products or services like yours can do that. They have to feel that not only do you have solutions, but that you understand their problems, their needs, their desires, and that you're there with them. And if you're a member of your own niche, that's easy to do. If you're not, you can at least somehow, some way, even if it's just like elevator pitch, short and sweet, one sentence, and like the copy that goes with feed posts on Instagram or things that you would post on Facebook, for example, you show them why you love what you do and why you love what you do for the people that you do it for. And even if you're not a member of their niche, what it was that led you to serve them. Like if you can get that down into a quick little soundbite and always put it in your live or always put it in like the captions that go with your content, that also helps to create that like heartfelt connection so that people can like really get connected to you as the brand leader, your brand experience, and then they're more likely to follow you, get onto your email list, and at least sooner or later buy, right? Not everyone's going to drop down to the bottom of your sales funnel and buy the first time they come across you, your products, your services, your, sales-based posts. Some will, but most won't. So if you've been marketing like an old-fashioned kind of way, or you're brand new to like content creation at all, let alone short form content, you're probably like, maybe some of what she's saying now explains why I haven't had much in the way of business conversions. Most of my students aren't looking to be influencers for influencers' sake. So most of them go, well, I don't know why I have to create all this extra content. But that's really the crux of why you have to do the content marketing that you do that isn't always sales-based content. This isn't a bright line, but I've said it to a lot of my students through the years that you probably want to like approximately put out 2 to 3 times more the relationship-based marketing content to the one time that you would put up straight up sales-based products, pictures and sales related stuff, because otherwise it just feels too cut and dry. Buy, sell, sell, sell. These are my products. They come in green and blue and now they're on sale. Like not nobody, but not enough people who are consumers, millennials, young at heart, Gen Xers, they don't gravitate towards stuff like that. So, be careful. Don't just have a parade of products and a tsunami of sales-based information. Well, the people who come to business accounts expect that on Facebook and Instagram, and they can expect a healthy dose of that. They'd really like to see that you understand them and you understand their needs, their wants, their desires, their problems. And then they understand, as you build a bridge between that and what you do for a living, then they understand that you have things that are more custom crafted for people just like them. And not only are they willing to spend, they're willing to spend more money actually for custom crafted stuff that's just like them, that are created by creators, brand owners, business owners that either are them or completely understand who they are and why they need what they need. Does that make sense? Like, let me know in the comments down below, because that's like a big seminal thing that sometimes people miss that mark and they go, I don't have time to do that. And then they don't sell much or at all. And then they're just sad and then they give up. When they really, if you pay attention to just that one like crux, that one focal point to how you build a bridge between people who are your ideal customer and your business and your digital brand experience through email marketing, yes, and also through social media marketing. You don't build that bridge, not many people are going to parachute over and jump and just buy from you because they saw one product or they saw one sales-based notification. For most people, they need to see you, your brand, your message, your marketing at least 7 to 8 times before they take action. And that could be even the action that I'm talking about could just be something as simple as like following you. Like lots of people will follow you quickly, but a lot more, they're like, oh, that's nice. And then they flit away because a shiny object distracted them, or, they're just like, it's nice, but it's not nice enough for me to follow. I just don't feel it to follow them yet. But if they keep finding you in organic search and or the platform's algorithm pushes you out more to them because you should be a match with them in terms of the content they like to consume, then if they see you like 7 or 8 times, then they're more likely to follow you. Or if they followed you, then they become more likely to get on your email list. And then some of them may drop all the way down through the marketing and sales funnel to buy from you at that point, but a lot more of them still need to be wooed a little more, which is why email marketing is so important. They're more likely, granted, to see your emails than even your social media. Even if you're a master or a whiz at, content optimization on a platform, you still are more likely to sell through email because people check their emails on average, age 15 to 100, they tend to check their emails on average 20 times a day. So they're on email, and most people start their day as adults on up checking their email first. So you really have your first and best shot to sell through email. So that's why my message course is so important. And for $37 through the end of today, it's a deal and a steal all day long. Let's see. Daniela says, yikes, thanks for the heads up. Yup, just be careful from now on. If nobody reported you yet, you've dodged the proverbial bullet. So just make an invitation, definitely send an email to your transactional people, giving them an invite to get on your main email list and give them 20% off, because I know what kind of stuff you sell. Price high enough to be able to discount low enough, because for most people, and you can Google your face off on this, 20% and above will get you a healthy response to a sales promotion. Anything that's under 20% does not perform as well. And the lower you go, if you think 5 to 10% are going to motivate people to either get on your email list or buy, typically it won't. And they don't care how expensive your stuff is and how time consuming your stuff is. If you need a certain profit margin, you need to just raise your prices. And you can blame COVID, you can blame supply chain issues, you can blame prices going up, and some or all of that stuff might be true anyway, but you could just say, hey, listen, I've got to raise my prices. And any student of mine who noticed that they weren't getting much of a profit margin anyway, sale or no sale, when they went and announced to their email list on lives and through social media posts that, you really only have until X day to buy at the current prices, because then I have to raise everything 20%, let's just say, without even running a coupon or a site-wide sale otherwise, and just making this announcement to their email list on lives and through social media posts, boom, they got sales. Because that was the leverage to get people kind of to get off the pot and take action. And then when you price high enough, you can have that 20% opt-in coupon code that you're going to email to somebody. And then you're more likely to get them on your list. And then you're more likely to command their respect. It might be counterintuitive to you, but you're more likely to command their respect enough for them to actually redeem the coupon. Rejection, in a sense, is the greatest form of aphrodisiac. So if you're buy now because then I'm going to raise my price, you're going to get more respect and more action. If you don't get anybody taking action, occasionally statistically we can blow a dud, but for the most part that's also telling me that for whatever the reason, your email list members or your social media followers don't find enough value in what you're delivering to them. That's okay. You're going to continue on with your email marketing. You're going to continue on with your lives, and you're going to continue on with your social media marketing, because if you're smart about how you optimize your content with things like keywords and hashtags and stuff like that, you'll get better and better at trailing in on what kind of optimizations in terms of keywords or hashtags that will bring you people finding you in search who have buyer intent. It's all the difference, for example, between saying, you're selling hummingbird earrings, let's say. You're selling hummingbird earrings and you're on Instagram and you use the hashtag hummingbird or hummingbirds of Instagram. Somebody who loves hummingbirds might see your content and go, oh, wow, and she sells hummingbird earrings and I'll buy. But that's more of a long shot than just optimizing your content with things such as hashtag hummingbird earrings. Because if someone's searching on hummingbird earrings, they have more of an intent to buy earrings than if they're just looking at all things hummingbird. Now, on Instagram for a feed post, for example, you get up to 30 hashtags. So I'm not saying don't use hashtag hummingbird, but I'd push it to the bottom of the hashtags that you're using. The first 3 to 5 hashtags, for whatever the reason, tend to pull more in search and or suggested and or with algorithmic matchmaking. So I would have hashtag hummingbird earrings. I'd have hashtag hummingbird jewelry be like, say, the first 2 hashtags that I would use. Then your content marketing over time is going to draw more people who have buyer intent. And then they're going to want the 20% off coupon. And when you say limited time or a deadline or a 24-hour site sale, those people tend to take action more. But it takes a while to get good at this stuff on your own. You don't know what you don't know, or you hire somebody like me. I don't do one-on-one coaching anymore, but I do one-on group for my products. I do one-on group coaching for the products for each category. I can do a coaching once a week live, and there's replays. And my students know that. Marquina says, got to go wake up the youngest for school. See you again soon. Same to you, my girl. Heather Dupay says, we are posting 2 to 3 times a day on Instagram and Facebook, 2 to 3 days in a row for each of our signature items to give people more information about the features and uses. 1 week doing this and no sales yet. I will say a few things about that, Heather. First of all, don't be discouraged. It's like you're planting a seed and you're expecting a harvest tomorrow. And listen, it's digital. You can get some, first rattle out of the box successes. I'm not saying that's not possible, but it's not probable. You need to build up a community who is supporting your brand and what your brand stands for. So that can take time. It doesn't necessarily have to take forever and a day, but it can take time. So you can get some overnight success with it, but usually you get more and better success the more you do it. Plus, while your frequency to me seems fine, I noticed how you say that you're giving people more information about the features and uses. Benefits sell, features just tell. So I would really put the accent mark more on the uses and less on the features per se. Or if you're like, I know a feature is important to my audience and it's a big, linchpin for this piece, a particular feature. Okay, but I would immediately wrap it up in copy that's like a candy coating a benefit over the feature. Because otherwise, if I know if people don't like to write copy, they're like, I'd rather just bullet journal the features or bullet journal just a quick, food shopping list of all the different uses. But you kind of have to get people emotionally involved. People buy more through emotions than intellect anyway. So it's all about like what they're going to do with your products and how they're going to, I know what you sell, how they're going to entertain with those products. And so that kind of marketing is very nuanced. And like I said, you can get like an overnight success, but you have to build a brand experience that's also about entertaining, starring your products, but maybe not a product listing, right? So some posts that are product listing in nature, that again is still focused more on benefits over features or listing features with, the benefit candy coated wrapping on there. And that's like a nuanced copy thing. They also need to see posts from you. And I know you're good about this, about like, let me know more about like the brand owner and the brand leader and their family, because they do want to make heart type connections to you as well, and not just to the brand experience. And the more younger your audience is, the more key clutch critical that is. So I know you're doing that and keep doing that every once in a while too, Heather. But I would definitely also be like, what about recipes that you will post as entertainment, education, inspiration-based content that's starring your products, and you can say in the copy, and this can be, accomplished with the products that are shown in this picture or this video snippet. You would put it in the copy that goes with your post. And that gets people like actually seeing themselves using the products. So those posts over time, I think, do well too. So it's content marketing is a very, very nuanced thing. And I think that like for every person that can get a sale the first day they start doing stuff like that, the first week that they start doing that, A lot of my students, even those who have progressed on to be intermediate to advanced type business owners, they're going to tell you that this took time to do. And that occasionally along the way, they might even run sales or promotions that were duds. They didn't have any sales at all, but it was like, keep doing the marketing, keep investing, keep tending that seed that you planted. Because if you're getting likes and you're getting follows and you're getting comments, even if they're occasional comments, and like say on Instagram, you're getting the occasional DM or direct message, or on Facebook, someone's reaching out to you via Messenger with questions and stuff like that. They may not be purchasing from you yet, but at least if you can start to get a groundswell like that, then you know that you're getting some macro conversions. You're getting some follows, you're getting some email opt-ins. Give it at least more than a week before you can judge it. Try to blow out more features and more benefits and less features, and try to sometimes have content that isn't just a product spotlight, but it's part of like a bigger picture showing entertainment, starring your products, showing something that's being created in the kitchen, and your products are there either in the background, the foreground, or both. And it's about the entertaining tips and tricks. It's about the recipe. It's about, and then starring your products, because those tend to build more of a heartfelt connection. They get to see themselves using the products more, because your stuff isn't cheap. And I know that, and it shouldn't be cheap. And you should price amongst the top in your industry. You have to price high enough to discount low enough. But, for especially the more expensive prices, the more tending you have to do for the seeds that you planted, right? So I'm sorry you're not getting sales yet. That doesn't mean you can't get sales today, tomorrow, or next week. But I know if all you do is a parade of products and a tsunami of sales, and I'm not saying you do that, but I'm just saying in general, and that's all or most of what your feed's about, you're not really building a brand community. They're not really making a heartfelt connection to you, the brand experience, and even to each other. And then it's a whole lot harder to sell that way at any price point. So I want to normalize your experience, and I don't want you to feel bad. And I want everybody else to know, if they're not overnight successes yet, whether they're my students or someone else's student or whatever, it can take time, right? Because people have so many choices for everything imaginable. So you really have to build a movement behind your brand. They have to be able to know, like, and trust you and your brand and the brand experience so much that they can't help it. They definitely want on your email list, whether they're going to use the coupon immediately or not. And some will use the coupon immediately. A lot more will sit on it because it's free to subscribe or follow you. It's free to get on your email list. It's not free to spend the money. So some of them, you might have to date them a little bit more before they make a commitment to you and marry your brand and make a purchase. People are funny. People are different. And most people need at least some time to give you all or most of the brand-based conversions that you want or need. Okay, so keep it up. Stay strong. Daniela says that makes sense. We've sold to all age groups, racking my brain to cover everyone with my words. What do you mean by that, Daniela? Let me see if I can help you. Hey, good morning, Teddy. What's going on? Good morning, Melissa from Metals and Pieces. How are the beasties doing? How's your list doing? You got a trunk show going on this week, girl? Also, if for any reason you're a products-based business and you're like, oh man, I would have been going to Renaissance fairs. I would have been going to all sorts of public events and stuff like that, vendor shows and such. You can do it digitally. A lot of people are finding a lot of success doing it digitally on Facebook and Instagram, especially. There's no reason why you can't do your demos. You can't, for direct sales people, have your parties. For products-based businesses, do demos and run sales and promotions and have Q&As about your products, the benefits and the features, and still sell. Heather, I'm wondering if you've ever done a live demo like that, because I know you have a bit of an email list. Have you tried a live vendor show or something like that? Heather says, so as an example, we show a photo of the bread box of it being used to store dog treats or a coffee bar toppings or electronics. Is that right? Sure it is. We have been doing recipes with the new recipe boxes. Great. And you haven't had any sales yet, but that doesn't mean you'll never have sales. And again, your stuff's more expensive. It's going to take a bit to win over the know, like, and trust to get someone to pull the trigger and make that sale. If somebody's selling stuff that's $20 and less, that actually qualifies as an impulse buy in the sales world. They're going to get faster responses than you are. If it's not too much more than that, they're still going to kind of get faster responses than you are. You might be a little bit more of a slow-moving game. Heather says, no comments outside of helpful Frosties, but likes and couple follows. All right. So you need to do this for more than once a week. Or not, you're doing more than once a week, but you need to have like a more than a week's worth of data going at that rate. And that's a lot more work. But than maybe what you were used to before, but this is worthwhile work because you are getting people at least to the top of your funnel. If you're optimizing right, why don't you put the name of your business down there, and your Instagram handle, and I will try to take a look at your thing. I'm going to have to do it. I have to leave in a little bit for my appointment. So my social grammars, there is an announcement in the social gram shortcut group. After my appointment, and it could be a couple hours, I'm going to drop into the Facebook group for social gram shortcut. And I'll do a live because we're concluding our week-long Reels challenge. One thing I got to ask you, though, Heather, now that I'm thinking about it, short form content. Have you been creating Reels? Yes or no? Just put yes or no down there. Because now I'm going to tell you something that's going to help you a lot. Daniela says, text on Facebook posts and Instagram posts that intrigue everyone, keeping it short and sweet. I've gotten some insight just from what you were saying here today. Thank you. You're welcome. There is a book, Words That Sell. So you should definitely, as a business owner, if you don't have the book, you should buy it. You can get it in soft cover. You can get it used. Try to get the most recent version of it. But Words That Sell is a great book to help you with copy prompts that actually are more likely than not going to get you the conversions that you're looking for, depending upon, the buyer intent that you're interested in. So that's a book that Renee Christine of Cupcake Trainings loves. That's one of her top two referrals. Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely is another one. And I love both those books as well. I found them helpful for my business. They're things I refer to my students who have read them love them. My Frosties actually recently had a book club. Regine Roberts, I'm going to shout you out. I know you're not here now, but you'll probably see this on the replay. She took leadership and she started a Frosty book club. And in, the frosting group from month to month, they're in a room, they're in a Facebook room, and they're talking about Predictably Irrational. I think they just finished that book club up. Yes, you are. Okay. Julie Denbo, Ultimate Sales Letter helps too. Thank you. That is true. And keeping things short and sweet, it depends. If you're writing emails, you actually get better response rate the longer the emails are, but with no repetition, you've got a lot of goodness in the emails, for example, but you need to keep it, there's a lot of stuff that I go through in Message. So I think you're a student of Message, Daniela, so you're going to learn more as you go through the course. But there's a time to be short and sweet. You can and should mix things up in terms of email copy and social media copy, but you should have longer captions to go with your content on Facebook and Instagram. I call them micro blog post captions. So like with Instagram, they give you 2,200 characters. That includes spaces and punctuation and hashtags if you put them in there. But still, that's a lot of words, a lot of characters that you can use. And I do think that a lot of times we should actually write more, not less, but it should be tight and punchy what we write. And, the sexy hook that gets people's attention to read, say, an Instagram feed post, that's got to be up top and that's got to be tight. But sometimes you need to mix it up and provide more value in the caption, because you don't just want them to slow their scroll on, say, Instagram. You want them to stop it, and you want them to tap on more or see more and get the caption to unpack. That actually counts as another data point when they do that for the Instagram algorithm to surface. On Facebook, they notice if people are reading your caption and or they're hovering and viewing and consuming your video, the caption that goes with it, or both, or just your graphic post or picture post on Facebook, and you're like unpacking and reading more of the caption, that counts as more interaction. So they're more likely to push your stuff out to more of your followers and even suggest stuff on Facebook and Instagram with people who could be your followers but aren't yet, or your subscribers, or couldn't yet, or aren't yet. So Heather is doing, Heather said, last live was September 4th, trying to think of reasons for next lives. Easy. Highlight a product with once a week. You've got more than one product. Boom. You can do it every single week. You want to talk about Maker Mondays sort of stuff or Tip Tuesdays sort of stuff. Boom, you got lives. I could have you do a live every single day of the week. You really have to just, your lives can go, I would say no less than 15 minutes. You've got to give the algorithm on Facebook and Instagram time to warm up, but and find more people and ping more of your followers or subscribers, depending upon the platform and its parlance. If you're doing lives that are too short, you didn't give it enough time to warm up and find more people. And so, boom, it's really not going to do much for you. So you have to be online for at least 15 minutes or more on Facebook or Instagram, both live. Spotlight a product a week if you want to. Spotlight a recipe a week if you want to. Spotlight a use or the way to properly maintain or care for a product, whether they bought it from you or maybe they even bought it from a competitor, because people don't just follow one business, one guru, one thought leader. They do tend to binge on a lot of content from multiple people across a given thought space. So even if you're like helping somebody that bought a bread box from somebody else, they're going to be like, ooh, I like her. She helped me out. She opened up my mind to a tip, trick, or technique, additional use, additional way to keep it or to repair it or maintain it, whatever it is. And I like her. So even though I didn't buy something from her, wow, she's even more knowledgeable than the person I bought from. Guess where their next purchase is going to be from? More likely than not, you. So yeah, you should do a live every single week. Administration just announced a ban on TikTok. Okay, thank you for that, Steph Bishop. I'm going to have to look into it, and I'll definitely do an emergency live on that too, because now all my TikTok people, and I had 11 that had sales that they got from TikTok. 2 regularly, they're going to be pissed. So thank you for sharing that with me, Steph. Rachel Wirtz, did you put a list of your favorite business books? I know, I owe you and Marquina that. I know, I'm going to do that today. I promise. I said I was going to do it, and then I didn't. And I never do that. So I'm going to fix that. I know that's important to you guys. But 2 of the top are Predictably Irrational by Dan Ariely and Words That Sell. Those are 2 that, whether you're selling products, services, or a bit of both those books would help all of my students, all of them, no matter what they sell. Okay, so Heather Dupay and everybody else, in terms of short form content, number 1, you should be putting out a piece of short form content a day. And if you repurpose, say, a 15-second or up to 15-second Instagram reel on TikTok, well, forget TikTok, I guess. Okay, everything's changing so fast. That's okay. Stick with me, folks. We'll all do it together. She goes, 1 live is 30 minutes, and it's so good there. Camera was held by lovely teenage daughter, so we had some fun blooper moments, and those are always fun. People love blooper moments. You could even take that video from the replay. Did you post it as an IGTV video? Because that's one of the options that they'll let you do on Instagram. Facebook, it's just super easy to just be like live. Because that can help you. The IGTV video of your replay can get a little bit more push out. Do you on Instagram with IGTV replays or Instagram Reels, do you use all 30 hashtags that you're able to use? Do you make sure that the first 3 to 5 hashtags that you use are more buyer intent and less general? That yes, on IGTV, good girl, that's going to help. Do you use all 30 hashtags? Do you write, a caption that has the hashtags in it? Because again, for IGTV, for feed posts, And for Reels, you are allowed 2,200 characters. And that does include your 30 hashtags, but you should use them. When you do the short form content on Instagram Reels, Heather, do you publish it as a Reels, of course, as a feed post, and as a piece of Instagram story content? Because then you blast out 3 times the content for every one piece that you create. Do you also, I was going to say repurpose it on TikTok. Now, apparently TikTok, I know you're in America like me, Heather, so maybe we can't access TikTok anymore. I'm going to come back and do an emergency live on that too once I get a little bit more detail. Still working on right hashtags, going through Flick mini course right now to get the right hashtags. That will help. So if you guys don't know about Flick, that's going to give you a very unfair advantage. There's not a terrible learning curve behind using Flick. Let me share with you. I use Flick. I swear by it. I'm in there daily to near daily. I became an affiliate for it after the first 6 months of using it. Maybe it was a little less than 6. Don't want to exaggerate, but a little less than 6. And I'm going to tell you right now, I swear by it. I had a lot of my students use it. Like, I would say to them, what are you trying to optimize for? And I tested it. So everything from like microgreens to jewelry. And I'm telling you now, go have a 7-day free trial off Flick on me. It is, you get affiliate income if you end up buying something from it, but there's only 2 things right now that I'm an affiliate for, and it's ClickFunnels and Flick. I use them. ClickFunnels I'm in every day of the week. Flick practically every day of the week. It's ridiculous. I would not do hashtags without Flick ever again. And I don't really know of a student who's gotten off of it once they're on it. They love it. They use it. Just figured out stories. So old Reels, not in stories. That's okay, Heather. When you go, and then I have to wrap this up. When you go, it's social, YouTube Shorts are coming to America. They're out in India now because they still don't, most of India is still locked down under the ban against TikTok. And I guess America too now. Why not? So TikTok bad. Instagram Reels good. YouTube Shorts has rolled out into India because there was already a pre-existing vacuum and they were testing it with bigger creators. So Instagram Shorts were kind of out. Those are up to 15 seconds, just like Instagram Reels. So I don't know how to create them yet because they haven't launched it in America yet, other than with some testers. That's coming. They just blanketed India with it. So US has got to be coming anytime now. YouTube said that short form content creator shorts, that new feature should be pretty much YouTube wide by the end of the year, December. So I would definitely say, unless I learn otherwise, that what you create for Instagram Reels, you can save it to your camera roll, and maybe you should, because once YouTube, if you do have a YouTube channel, and quite a few of my intermediate and advanced students do, then at least in the beginning, like repurpose your Reels on YouTube. And I'll definitely, as I start to play with that feature, I'll let you know. But in the meantime, apparently US has lost TikTok, RIP TikTok. We barely knew ye. But Instagram, they're not banning Instagram. That's owned by Facebook Inc. And Instagram and Facebook are not perfect, but no one's major league worried about whatever kind of breaches they do get from time to time. There's no ban or prospective ban against them anywhere that I know of. So Instagram Reels is safe for you to learn. It's super easy to do. You only create up to 15 seconds. If you don't have the music feature available to you, don't worry about that. You can narrate over what you're showing. You can, they can hear the sounds of you creating something for 15 seconds. Donna Huslander. Okay, so Donna, Transformational Healing by Donna. Donna has an Instagram Reels that's up to 15 seconds long that I think it's like the wind going through her tomato plants. And people are going bananas about that. and she's getting more eyeballs on her account. She's getting email signups. And Donna's experience, she gets sales off what? Everything. So she's using Instagram Reels as part of the week-long Instagram Reels challenge and Socialgram shortcut. I do not see a challenger in there that isn't getting more followers, more emails. Some of them are getting more sales. Some of them are getting more sales near daily. Jennifer Chamberlain Mangers is a goddess in my eyes. Holy cow. She is just doing so well. She'll get like 2 sales in a day, 5 sales in a day, all that she can trace through people saying they saw her Reels and they approached her in the DMs. Reels, you must use at least a lot of, if not all of the 2,200 characters that you get to use in that caption. It will populate down as a feed post. The option to let it publish not just as a Reels, but as a feed post is pre-toggled on. So if you don't toggle it off, those 2 bases should be covered automatically. Heather and everybody else who knows how to do stories, you know that when you create Instagram story content, you swipe in one direction and it's going to give you the publication options. And usually you might just pop up top and go, publish it to my Instagram stories. That's hardly a wrong decision to make. So you actually can do that too before you publish your Reels. So each Reel that you create, you see that big blue button on the bottom of the screen. Don't push that yet. And yes, leave the option pre-toggled on to publish in your feed posts, but swipe to actually see that you can publish it as an Instagram story too. So when you push that button and then you swipe back, you didn't lose anything. Some of my students are older, they get nervous. Did we lose anything? No, you don't. And then you can push the big red button, the big blue button at the bottom of the screen. And that's how you get 3 pieces of content for the price of 1. If you're not doing a Reel every single day, you're not getting the best advantage because you are pretty much guaranteed that all of your Reels show up in the feed of all your followers. If your followers haven't interacted much, if at all, with any of your stuff recently on Instagram, they may not see any or all of your posts as you post them. But they are pretty much guaranteed, at least for a while, to see your Reels. Why is Instagram force feeding the Reels into all of your followers' feeds, whether they've interacted with you or not? Because they really want this feature to work. Even as TikTok continues to go down, YouTube is bringing out shorts. They still have someone to fight with to become number 1 on the planet for short form content marketing. You are also, this is not as much of a guarantee, but it's close to it. When you create a Reel, you're almost guaranteed, at least for the short term, to show up on the Explore page because there's so many people who are consuming short form content, but still, especially on Instagram, more people, less people who are creating the short form content. So at least for the next couple days or weeks, you're going to get an unfair advantage. Now, if TikTok really is shut down in the United States, you've got to act now because now all the TikTokers are going to start creating, on Instagram Reels. They have no choice now because India and the US were the 2 biggest consumers and creators of short form content on TikTok. Now India's on Instagram Reels, and now the US is going to come crushing onto Reels. If you don't listen to me today, you will cry next week. That's what Steph Bishop's announcement means to me. Like, you've run out of, for the next couple weeks, it's fine. No, be putting up an Instagram Reel, ideally 3 times a day, once around every mealtime within your time zone, and then you're sending out enough nets to be able to capture the attention back to your brand. So Heather, if you have followers at all, and you're like, is this mic on? Nobody's commenting or interacting with my stuff, or it's very few, create Reels. Okay, please create Reels. Hey, Bridget. Hope you and the moms and the hubs are doing good. Transformational Healing by Donna says you don't lose it as long as you hit publish to story. Then you just slide right back. If you try to add it to a highlight reel right then you lose the reel. Yeah, don't do that. Do what I'm saying. Like, just slide over, press publish to stories, slide back, leave the option pre-toggled on to go to your feed post, and then hit the big blue button, and then it publishes to your Reels. Okay, I have to go because I have to get to my appointment. I guess TikTok's out. But that means you need to triple down on Reels right now, because that's still hot short form content. And now you're going to see a wall of creators dive bomb on Instagram Reels when maybe they weren't, or they weren't doing it as much, because they're like, TikTok's still my baby. Now their baby's gone if they're not just in the India, but if they're in the US as well, it's gone. So my goodness gracious. I will talk to you all later. Get serious about Reels. Now you have no choice. TikTok's gone in the US, I guess. And I will talk to you later. Bye.